The idea of a hidden world under Giza isn't new. It's been floating around for centuries, woven into legends. Probably the most famous is the Hall of Records, a supposed ancient library hidden underground near the Sphinx. This whole idea really took off with Edgar Cayce, an American psychic in the 1930s. Cayce claimed refugees from Atlantis built this hall around 10,500 BC to save all their knowledge, and that the entrance was near the Sphinx, right, Paul? Sounds epic, right? But despite tons of searching, nothing matching has ever been found.
We search it everywhere, but there is nothing hidden underneath.
Any anomalies usually turn out to be just natural rock formations. It's not just New Age stuff either. Medieval Islamic legends talked about a king hiding knowledge before a big flood, and in the 1800s, explorers usually believed sacred passages linked the Giza pyramids. More recently, in 2008, Andrew Collins claimed he found the lost caves of Giza, but Dr. Zahi Hawass quickly shut that down, pointing out it was a well-known rock cut tomb or catacomb discovered way back in 1816. It was likely for burying sacred animals, not some ancient civilization sacred lair. So, what do we actually know for sure about what's under the Giza pyramids? The real history is often more mind-blowing than the fake stuff. The Giza pyramids were giant tombs for pharaohs. They were built as part of huge funeral complexes made to keep the king's body safe and help him get to the afterlife. And yes, the Great Pyramids of Khufu does have underground parts. There's a long descending passageway that leads to an unfinished subterranean chamber, often called the pit. It's roughly carved. Some experts think its rough floor might have been purposefully designed to represent the chaotic underworld. But here's the thing, Khufu's sarcophagus isn't down there. It's in the king's chamber, high up the pyramid's core. This was a change from earlier pharaohs whose mummies were buried deep under their pyramids. Beyond the pyramids, the Giza plateau also has other important underground structures like the famous boat pits. These were carved out of the bedrock and contained dismantled boats, like Khufu's famous solar boat. These were for joyrides. They're meant to carry the pharaoh's soul on its journey. The bedrock under Giza is mostly limestone, which is relatively soft. For carving tunnels and chambers, they use copper chisels, drills, and saws. For harder stones, they relied on tougher dolerite pounding stones and abrasive quartz sand. It was a slow, grinding process, but incredibly effective. Imagine walking in those dark, enclosed spaces. How did they see? Simple lamps filled by oil or unmodified. Ventilation? They might have used simple temperature differences or wet cloths. And getting all that rock debris out? Probably hand-carried in baskets. It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. This wasn't about a non-advanced tech. It was about mastering the tools they did have. The pyramids themselves were built mostly from local quarried limestone. And how did they get those massive stones into place? We're still figuring out all the details. But evidence points to ramps, levers, and crucially, water. Recent research suggests an ancient branch of the Nile flowed much closer to Giza, providing a vital waterway to transport those colossal blocks right to the site. Now imagine this, not just dusty tombs, but something way bigger, a glowing city, a massive underground network beneath the Giza plateau built by something super advanced. Sounds like pure sci-fi, right? Well, someone actually claims they found it. A team of Italian researchers led by Corrado Malanga and Filippo Biondi basically screamed from the rooftops. Their latest findings are supposed to be from 2025, which, let's be honest, is already a red flag that says of Texas. They dropped what they called a bombshell. They say they used some fancy prototype and AI to claim they found massive artificial structures almost 2,000 feet deep beneath the Giza pyramids. That's like 4 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other but underground. And it gets wilder. They're talking about 8 huge vertical cylindrical shafts, spiraling pathways, gigantic cubic chambers, some apparently 80 meters, and that's like 260 feet. Not just one pyramid, but supposedly connecting all major pyramids, stretching for miles. They even threw out names like the Halls of Amenti and suggesting these structures were built over 38,000 years ago. So those massive pillars connecting nearby pyramids people ramble about, that's likely what they mean. So no massive glowing city? Probably. But does that mean nothing interesting is being found beneath Giza? Real discoveries might be less sci-fi, but they're still incredibly cool. This is the real archaeology facts, not YouTube theories. For example, a joint Japanese and Egyptian team recently used ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity tomography to find 2 intriguing structures in the Western Giza Cemetery. They found a mysterious 10-meter-long L-shaped structure about 6 feet underground, and then a larger, deeper anomaly. What are they? Nobody knows for sure. Researchers cautiously suggest the L-shape could be an interest to the deeper object, maybe a tomb. But the key is, they're not claiming aliens, they're saying, hey, this is interesting, let's dig carefully and see. That's how real archaeology works.